Good evening, fight fans. I am JaysFightTalk, and my co-host is Sam, who is normally on the other side, but it's my turn tonight. Sam and Jay talk MMA. My co-host Sam Walker from SWFight Hub. How are we, brother?
Mate, absolutely delighted to be here. It's been a while since
Hasn't it
we had a
just
big UFC card, it feels like, but MSG's rolling in on Saturday night,
massive?
2 days away now. It's going to be, the main card, we just spoke about it off camera. Tremendous main card. Five unbelievable fights. Bo Nickel on the headline of the prelims.
And
And
it's crazy. I mean, I was prepping earlier on, and each one of the fights is as good on its own merit and could host a fight night card or pay per view. I mean, the main event is could have its own numbered event. The co-main event in itself is a massive fight. It's two of the best. Sean Brady Morales is a fight night main card if ever I've seen one. Leon Edwards Prates, they could do that in London, Manchester. That could be a numbered card. Benil Dariush against Benoit Saint Denis again. It's fight night
Paris.
worthy.
Yeah.
Could do Paris. So it's a massive card. So look, MSG, New York City. We've got headlined by Islam Makhachev with his debut at welterweight against the current champion Jack Della Maddalena in his first defence. We'll get onto that. So we'll start the card on the curtain jerker, which sees Benoit Saint Denis, Paris' own or France's own, against Benil Dariush. Has I wouldn't say title implications at lightweight, but it's got top 5 implications, hasn't it? And certainly top 10 implications. Benoit Saint Denis has not been the same man since
Poirier.
Poirier just flatlined him. It sort of took this invincibility away from him and has sort of fumbled since then. Benil Dariush should have got a title shot, didn't get a title shot, and then has just stumbled himself since then. And I think he's coming off a defeat. Is he not coming off? Was it Oliveira that beat
Well,
him
I
last?
remember
Who beat him
Oliveira
last?
knocked him out, and Arman Sarukian knocked him out as well.
So,
Yeah,
you know, known for his jiu-jitsu. He was a jiu-jitsu player before he turned over to MMA. I think his best days have sort of passed him by, in my opinion, in terms of world title shots. But look, it's a great fight and a great performance from either of them sets them up for a big fight down the line. That I think Benoit Saint Denis got more chance of getting a title shot. Don't think he'd get it off the back of a win anyway. But either of them wins this and it sets them up for another great fight. What's your take on it, man?
Yeah, I think the loser. I mean, it sounds a bit extravagant, but the loser could be leaving town here. BSD lost to Hanato Moicano, didn't he, as well after that Poirier defeat? Yeah. I know I think he had a decent win last time out. Benil's been on the slide for a little while now.
Yeah.
So, I don't really see where the loser of this fight goes. Obviously, the winner's going to have a good win, aren't they? They're going to have some good momentum behind them. And I think you could see a really fun fight here, potential for fight of the night, because both guys, for me, could be fighting for their UFC careers. I'm not saying that they'll be cut, but especially a place like you saying the top 10 or top 15 of the lightweight rankings, potential to be fighting somebody on fringe top 5 if they win this. So there's a lot on the line for the winner and the loser of this.
Yep.
Are we giving predictions? Are we?
That was my next question. Who do you think wins and how?
I think Saint Denis will win the fight. I actually think I'll go decision. If it was a 5-rounder, I'd think differently. But I think Saint Denis wins on decision. I think it could be a fun fight. Don't forget, both men can strike a little bit as well. Even Benil's got some crazy knockouts on his record. Do you ever remember that one where who was it against? God, if you said his name, I'll be like, yeah, it was him. But he was basically finished and done, and then he came right back, and it had an epic Joe Rogan moment where they all nearly knocked each other. I'm gonna have to go on his record now.
So you're going Benoit Saint Denis points, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I've actually gone for Benil Dariush by submission.
Drakkar close.
Close. That's it. He was beating him, and then
he was stopped on his feet, ready to go, and then he came back.
I think he actually went over and apologised to Dariush, to Close's missus, who is, what's her name? She fought as well. She's got one of them names like, it'll do my head in. You'll know what I mean. She's not She's not that good. She's decent. I think they've got a kid, Drakkar.
Big up, Antonio. Good to see you, man. Looking
Yes,
forward to this
brother.
weekend.
Drakkar closest partner. No, it's pulling up Drake and flipping Kendrick Lamar. Jesus Christ. Drakkar close partner. Let's have a look. Courtney Casey. I knew it was one of them
Courtney
names.
Casey.
That's his partner. And I remember him, Dariush, going over because he's a humble guy, isn't he? Sort of apologising. But look, the reason I think Beneil will get a sub is I think the pressure is more on Beneil. I think he's slightly older.
Yeah.
He's has more miles, certainly within the UFC. I think Saint Denis' career's in its infancy, really. He's not had that many fights. I think, but the pressure being on Beneil, I think he's going to look to really have his back against the proverbial wall. And I just see him eking out I see him pulling out a submission. So I'm going for Dariush by submission.
Okay, then. So we're split on that one.
The next one, Birmingham's own, Jamaica's own, Leon Edwards, the former welterweight. Yeah, just got it, Antonio. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Leon Edwards, look, coming off 2 defeats, really. He lost his title and then he lost to Sean Brady, didn't he? And he got stopped against Brady, didn't he? He's coming off. He's facing Carlos Prates now. Prates is coming off a win. I know he lost to Ian Gary, didn't he? But he got a win after that.
He knocked Jeff Neal clean out, didn't he, last time?
Jeff Neal. I think we watched that together. But I'm worried for Leon in this fight. I saw something in Leon against Sean Brady that I'd never seen in Leon before, and it just and they've highlighted it in the build-up. He sort of just resided himself. We saw it against Kamaru Usman. He sort of resided himself to the fact that he'd lose the fight and then got the head kick.
Yeah.
But in the Sean Brady fight, he just look. I don't want to say gave in or quit. I'm not one for using those kind of terms. But he just
checked out.
I think so. And I just, in MMA more so than boxing, you very rarely see fighters lose it and get it back. It's very rare that when the streak ends, it really does end. And I think that's because the game's so young. It's ever evolving. So they're getting better. What's Antonio said? I know Leon looked bad, but he's plus 154, kind of disrespect.
Yeah, he's good value, Leon.
But I think Prates is a killer. Look, they're both known for striking. Leon is an absolute surgeon when it comes to striking. His kickboxing is up there, hence why he was the world champion. And he lost 4.5 rounds of a 5-round fight and pulled it out the back with a headshot dead. I just think that they're on different ends of the spectrum. I think Prates is still climbing. Leon is sort of at the top level. I mean, is he ranked in the top 5 still? He's got to be up there, and he top 10.
Yeah, he's on the edge, I think.
But I just fear that it's been a while since the Brady defeat. It was earlier on in the year. We've seen nothing of Leon, and I just don't know what he's got left. I think on his day, he's good enough to beat Prates, and I think 9 times out of 10, 2 years ago, he beats Prates. Yeah. But it ain't 2 years ago. It's 2025. He's coming off 2 heavy defeats. One of them in his own backyard, so to speak. I know it wasn't in his hometown, but, that card was built around Leon, and he sort of went out with a whimper for me. So I worry for him in this fight. What's your sort of take on it, and what's your prediction, brother?
Yeah, I've got the same thinking as you, to be honest. Look, ability-wise, you probably say Leon maybe is a better fighter than Carlos Prates. He's definitely more experienced, but you look at confidence right now, Leon Edwards is right at the bottom. Carlos Prates, even though he had the loss to Gary, he had many moments with Ian Gary. He nearly had him out there in the last round. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough night for Leon. I think he has to be aggressive and he has to be prepared to meet Prates, and he's saying all the right things. I've watched a few of his interviews. He's speaking well, and it's a good matchup for him compared to all the wrestlers that he's had. But look, I feel terrible for doing it, but I'm picking Prates to knock him out. I'd rather just speak my truth rather than, obviously I want Leon to win, so that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, exactly the same, mate. Prates KO, unfortunately. Look, we're Brits ultimately, and we back Brits, but we're straight talkers, and for me, Prates has shown me more recently for me to think that, to justify my pick. Happy to be wrong. Of all the fights, I'm more than happy to be wrong. Yeah, Antonio, I agree. Leon has shown that he can take a shot, but I believe Pratis does smoke cigs. But look, against Gary, look, Carlos Mayorga, Ricardo Mayorga.
Ricardo Mayorga, yeah.
Used to smoke cigs in between rounds. But look, if Leon has much left of what he had that got him to the top, then he can knock Prates out. But on the flip side, I think Prates is fresher, and I just feel that momentum is with him. So I fear in that respect for Leon. So I am sticking with my original pick of Prates by KO, sadly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, though, Rocky.
Talking of Leon getting stopped, the next fight is Sean Brady against Morales. Now, Morales is unbeaten. Sean Brady's got 2 defeats, I want to say. Or is it 1? Was the...
he's got Bilal. No, just one. Bilal stopped him, knocked him out, stopped him on his feet.
And before that, he was an absolute machine. He was, just running through everybody in terms of dragging them into the mat. And he's got that stocking neck, and he's all muscle. He looks the part. What I saw in that, though, he seemed very one-dimensional. He has his fundamentals, his 1-2s, but if he can't get you to a wrestling position and start to chain wrestle, he seemed to run out of ideas. Leon didn't give him that because Leon's not a wrestler. He's got a decent takedown defense. His hips are fairly strong, but he started to ragdoll Leon.
He did.
I'm actually picking him to beat Morales by sub. I'm actually picking Brady to beat Morales. I think Morales is good. He's powerful, but I just think that Brady, this could be the right matchup for Brady. What's your take on it, man?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's coming in undefeated, so you always, take stock of an undefeated record, don't you? It's getting the names on his record. I'm just having a little look at it here. Gilbert Burns might be a little bit past. Well, he's definitely way past his best. Neil Magny's way past his best. Yep. Jake Matthews probably past his best. Yep. So you're looking at them. The difference in those fights than Bilal Muhammad and Leon Edwards and people like that who Sean Brady's been fighting. So it's a toss-up for me. Look, if it's a standing fight, Morales can definitely knock him out. He's got 13 knockouts in 18 wins. But I think I'm with you. I think Sean Brady can get the sub here. He's very underrated, I think, Brady.
Do you think Brady will win?
Yeah, I think he subs him.
Same.
I think he's underrated.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
Same with
Antonio. I really like Brady. I feel like he's super disrespected elite wrestler and grappler. Totally agree. He had one bad performance against an elite wrestler. Bilal Muhammad is a fantastic wrestler, and he just got out-muscled. I think it was too early for him. I think he believed a bit of his hype and just thought he could turn up. And Bilal was on his tear then. Bilal, who will be fighting Ian Gary in the main event towards the end of this month, I believe. We've both picked Brady by sub. This next fight, 1 second, let me just answer this question. Did you guys see Islam's camp? Said they would be favourable Brady's wrestling against Islam. Yeah. Have you seen Craig?
Quality. He's really, really good.
Have you seen who's in Dagestan at the moment? Craig Jones, subbing fools left, right, and centre. Yeah, he's fucking brilliant. Right, the co-main event. Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko is facing the champ, or the former champion, I believe. The champion is now the championship has been. I think it was Jandaroba and what's her face, fucking Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie is and the new. So we've got Weili Zhang, China's own Weili Zhang, facing Bullet Valentina. Look, it's great, and I always like to see a champ facing a champ from a division up. But the only reason this fight's coming together is neither of them have got anybody to fight. Valentina, unless she fights Amanda for the trilogy, there's nobody left for her to fight. She's lapped the division. Weili has had the belt, lost the belt, got it back, and he's on her lapping the division. What's your take on this fight? What do you see being the key factors in Valentina facing Weili Zhang? They are very similar for me.
Yeah, it's a great fight, isn't it? It's the one that they both have needed. Look, Weili trying to become a double champ. Obviously, not many have have previously done it. Shevchenko has tried against Amanda Nunes, come up short, so now she's defending that kind of throne. It's a really tough one. Do you know what? When it was announced, I thought Shevchenko might get the job done. Use there's only John Jones who has more championship octagon time than her. One of the Fight Disciples said earlier in the week, which I thought was crazy stat, but does make sense. But the closer it gets, I'm like, I don't know. I think Weili could eke it out. I think it goes all the way.
Me too.
I think both are they're both too skilled.
Yeah.
But like Antonio says, it's the 37-year-old versus the 36-year-old. But Valentina's had a much longer, I don't even want to say grueling career. She was choked out by Grasso, but she hasn't really took much damage, if you want to say that. But the training camps are the damage, aren't they?
Yeah.
So give me Weili to do it by decision. She's plus 100, so even money, kind of surprising. Yeah, it's a pick 'em, really, according to the book.
I've had a similar sort of thought strain to yourself. So I initially, when the fight was made, thought Valentina, but then when I've gone back and thought about it and analysed it a bit, I just think that so Shevchenko's at that level and she's maintained that level for years, right? She had the odd dip, the Grasso, she got that back. And Nunes, you could argue that she won that fight against Nunes. There's narratives to it. But Weili, right? She got knocked out against Namajunas, right? She's improved exponentially since that day. She she has Henry Cejudo teach her wrestling.
Yes.
You've seen the evolution in her game. Her striking is on point, but her wrestling game now is phenomenal. The strength, she's built different. So Valentina is a strong woman. No disrespect to Weili, but she's built like a strong dude. She's just all power, all muscle. And I just think that the fact she's coming from the division below gives her that extra bit of speed. And I think her strength is going to carry her through. So I'm very similar to yourself. I think we're going to get a 5-round fight. But I just think the cleaner, better work is going to come from Weili. And I think ground control will play a part in this fight. And I think the fact that she's been in with Henry Cejudo, who she's been able to spar because he's of the same weight division, and Henry has come out and said that Weili has given him some of the toughest grappling matches he's ever had. He don't need to say that. Henry doesn't need to say that. So for me, I'm in a total agreement with you. And from what Antonio's saying, I know there's only a year difference, but Valentina's got a lot more miles on the clock. And I think that is where... and look, we've seen how to beat Valentina. She's been beat on points and she's been subbed. Weili's got caught with a head kick. Just an anomaly. She stepped back, she didn't move her head, and she got caught with a head kick. She's rectified that, and as I said, the improvements have been fantastic. Every single fight on fight. So I'm in agreement. Yeah. I think that Weili Zhang does this by UD. I think it'll be nip and tuck. I think she'll just do that little bit more. Right. The main event, the big one. We'll see Islam Makhachev debut at welterweight. And he is facing the new champion because he's not defended his belt. I'll call him JDM because his name is a mouthful. Jack Della Maddalena. That's the one and only time you'll get me to say that. But yeah, I have toyed with my pick. When the fight was first made, I thought, nah, Islam's too small, man. He's not too small. He's massive. If anything, he's too big for lightweight. And you know, and I know they've always said he's the second coming of Khabib, and he's better than a Khabib. And yes, he got knocked out in early days in the UFC. But again, Islam, every time you think this is going to be his toughest fight, he just makes it look so easy. And we've seen Della Maddalena taken the distance, and it wasn't obviously not his last fight, but has he fought Sean Brady? Who's Della Maddalena?
He beat Bilal for the belt.
Before that, a couple of fights ago, it didn't look great. I actually thought he'd lost, and I can't remember who the fight was against, but
I don't remember either.
See if I can get his record up.
I beat Gilbert Burns. Didn't you remember that?
I think he did beat Gilbert Burns, though. One of his fights where I thought, he's not as good as... here we go. Let's see if I can get his record up.
He looked great. He looked good against Bilal to win the belt.
Oh, he just beat
I
him.
think he's going to cause Islam problems. I honestly do.
No, I do myself. So I've got Islam winning. I think Islam's going to win this fight. I'll be honest with you, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as was it the Randy Brown fight?
I can't remember.
Or the
I
Basil
honestly think
Hefes, that's who it was. Sorry.
Right. I honestly think Islam wins it on points.
Do you? I think he's going to submit him.
Yeah, well, he rolls with Craig Jones and everything, doesn't he? He's no slouch, JDM. I think Islam has a path to victory. I agree. Yeah, kind of, Antonio, but you know.
Don't worry for me, Antonio. Don't worry for me, brother. I'm wrong a lot of the time. But what I'm looking at here is Islam not having to boil himself down to 155. He's a naturally big guy. He walks around about 185, 180. And JDM's boxing's really good, but it's not a boxing match. And the problem is, if you've got your hands up looking for your shots, Islam wants your waist. And there's not many people can get it. Look, have you ever watched Habib wrestle DC? It's pretty fucking even.
Yeah. It's Hamzat as well.
Hamzat, look what Hamzat did to Dricus. I'm not saying JDM is Dricus, but he's cut from the similar cloth. You know, he's very erratic. He's got really good fundamental boxing. His wrestling defense is good, but you can't have just good wrestling defense. It's got to be on point, and to stay on point
perfect.
for 5 rounds. Tough, man. Tough.
It is, but look, if anyone can do it, I like it. I'll say I like his chances. I like his chances to push Islam all the way. I'm very intrigued by it. It's one of them that I'm looking forward to watching it live. I think Islam will get through it, but in a tight one.
I'm not. Look, I've made the pick at Islam, but it's one of them picks that I'm not confident of it. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't put money on it because, you know, JDM could knock him out in first round. He hits hard enough to be able to flatline Islam.
He definitely
Islam's been knocked out at 155. We've seen it. So we know it can happen. And if anybody could do it, this Australian kid is the guy that could do it. Do you know what I like about JDM? He's unassuming. He's humble. He's not. He hasn't changed. The belt has not.
Doesn't want any of the.
He don't want it. He's got his missus and his kids in New York. He's in Central Park feeding the pigeons and whatnot. He's not doing any of the glitz and glam. I know Islam had a great chin, but he's never got it back. We've just said he's been knocked out at lightweight, mate. So, you know, I've just said also that Jack could knock him out in the first round, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. But I just think that the camp that he's from and the experience that he's got will carry him through. And I can see him getting to Jack's back and potentially choking him out at some point in the fight. My co-host here thinks it'll be more of a sort of eking out a decision. Is that right?
I do. I think it'll be a tight fight, but I expect Islam to get through it. Obviously, he's a heavy favourite, but yeah, I like JDM, and I think he can cause some issues. I'm really looking forward to the whole card, not just the main event. It's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be fantastic. Thank you, everybody that's tuned in. Sam, appreciate your time, brother. We will be back.
Mate, as always.
We will be back. I think me and Sam are doing the main card for the UFC. You'll also be able to catch us over on SWFight Hub's YouTube channel for the boxing. On Saturday night, we're doing the last 3 fights, I believe, in the main card. If you haven't already, subscribe to JaysFightTalk, subscribe to SWFight Hub. We'll catch